So this is how you drag a file in and open it up. Click on your bin file, drag it down, bring it in. Don't worry about this box at all. Checksum has to get calculated manually anyway. But the only useful thing on this you need is to name the file. So this is an Australian, so I'll put Oz. I think it's the Series 1 and FZ6 Yamaha. You can fill out these, but none of that matters. You can go to the producer, but most of these are all car ones. Doesn't have Mitsubishi for bikes, so you don't need to worry about that either. You can fill out that if you want, doesn't matter. Don't need to worry about any of this either. Just hit OK. Comes up new project created. So that's the bin file for an FZ6. Up the top here you got a couple of things you need. There's 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit. This file's a 16-bit. You got 255, so that's viewing in decimal. That's decimal numbers. FF is hex, or if you click the ones there, that's binary. Good luck with that. Best views decimal, the 255. That'll give you numbers you can actually recognise. Then here you got low high and high low. Our file's actually a high low file. You can look along here and you got some colour areas here. Basically this coloured area here, there's some purple lines showing up. That's the map data, so most of the maps are found in this area here. That's just basically blank space, even though there is numbers there. This area down here, that's basically all the data, so that's all the programming for how the bin file works. So yeah, there shouldn't be many maps in there, if any, that's just data itself. And you have a look down here, you got 3 different views, so you got text view there, 2D, that's your 2D view, you get that bar across the bottom again. So that there is your map area, basically. And you got the 3D view. And the 3D view, that's good for nothing. You don't need to use that at all. To find the maps, the easiest way really is in the 2D view. So if you can scroll along the bottom here, you can just click along and it zooms along. Around here is where the map should start showing up from this area here on. So you look at this and you can see a bit of a pattern with that flat spot. If you go up here, you got zoom, you got the X and Y axis. So you can go 100%, 200%. You bring that up and that starts showing areas like this, the actual maps. If you zoom, go back along a bit, you can just see that it's sort of all over the joint, and then you get a uniform pattern like that. So that area is your map. That's where one map ends. This is where the next map starts. Another map there. That's another one that starts. If you're not sure if it's a high-low file or a low-high file, you can just go to this view, get a look at the map, and if I change it from high-low back to low-high, that just goes all wonky as shit. It doesn't actually look like anything. So you change back to the high-low, and then yeah, that's what you get. So to highlight it, you can just click on it, hold down your cursor button on your mouse. Nah, that's not what I want. Don't worry about that. And just drag and you can highlight along the area where the map is. Just keep dragging across, highlight it all. And that's about where the map will end. So if I go back to text view, you'll see that's all, that area is all highlighted. That looks like crap. You got this down here, these are the bars. If you click on view, you can go to right side. And then on the right side it's showing bars. The bars will help you find a map. You get a pattern in those as well. That's another way of spotting a map, or you can have nothing, and that just gets rid of that. And so that map starts around here somewhere. Now there's some numbers I'll be looking for. Just go across. Numbers like this. So you'd have numbers in the sort of 60, 65,000, 55. You get 55, 102, then there's 40. That there, the 40. And that's where the map actually starts. First number there, 55, 102, that's basically a map descriptor. And so all the fuel maps should have that number. And then 40 is how many columns wide the map is. So from one side to the other it's 40. Now that's looking like I highlighted it pretty well there, so that to get the map to find it, you've got to have the first cell on the map on the left hand side, right next to the address bar down here. So I need to keep that 55, 102 and the 40. That'll always be just above the map area. And then if I scroll down, see how close it was to being the end of the map. You can normally tell by the numbers, they'll change uniformly. So you can see they're all down to 60s, they're all 60s. So that's pretty much, looks like I nailed it first go there. It tells me here columns 40 wide and 48 rows long, and that is right. So now if I press the letter K, that map should come up, and it didn't. So I'm guessing because it didn't, I might have somewhere outside the map actually highlighted. Because if there's any cells outside the map area highlighted as well, when you hit the letter K, it won't show up the map. So if I double click in the address column over here, box comes up, just hit cancel, and then that unhighlights everything that there was. So you can start that search again. So I'll go across the 55, 102 and the 40. So go back to this side. I think that starts with the 406s. So click on that and then just drag across to start highlighting all the numbers. And yep, that's right. So I've got the 40 across there. Now I've got to go down the 48. And 60 was the last row there. So that's it there. Now it's telling me I've got the 40 columns, 40 rows. Hit the letter K and bingo. Comes up here, map. Tells me it's 40 by 48. Sort of only see part of it there. That's that view and the right side bars again. So if you view, go down the right side, you just change it from bars to nothing. Then you can see that map, so I can scroll across the bottom here. You can see the numbers across the top. Tells you 1 to 39 or 0 to 39, so that's your 40. And then down the other side you've got 0. And it goes down to 47, so that's your 48 rows down. You got the text view, 2D view, which is nothing to look at on this one, but then 3D view when you're looking at actual maps, shows you the map itself. And then across here there's no actual data shown, it just gives you the 0 to 39 again. And then across here you got your 47 back to 0, so that's your 48 by 40 map. If you double click on the map, now the box comes up. This is the properties of the map. So you got map, and that'll be fuel, or the description will be fuel, so I know what this map is. Then you got your x-axis and your y-axis. And being that it's 40 by 48 map, so the 40 is your x-axis and the 48 is your y-axis. And on this map, I know that this 48 is the RPM column. So the y-axis is RPM. And then on the x-axis, this is the map that uses the manifold pressure sensor. So that'll be your map. And then yeah, across here you got your data source. That's just showing you 1, 2, 3. What we want to get later on is EEPROM, and then we'll get the data that goes on the axes because that's stored separate to the map. Then hit OK. And yeah, you can bring that box up anytime, you just double click on the map and that comes up. Basically that's how you find a map.